Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir, tout le monde. Bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, opening the weekly amateur radio exchange group, Simplex Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. It is the longest running Simplex Net in the Hamilton area. This week is 1,622 times that AREG has been on the air weekly. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. And this net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So I also stream the net on YouTube, so people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio, hear how their audio sounds on the air, and see their signal strength as well as see my station layout. Just type my call into the YouTube search box and look for us live, or tonight we'll have the title AREG Week 1622. Finally, we ask that you please leave a 1 second delay minimum in between transmissions to allow others to break in. Now, do we have any time sensitive, mobile, or portable stations? Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot Portable.
All right, I copy Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot Portable. Vern, come on in, sir.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on the net. Appreciate you picking me up. Yeah, just out for a short walk. It's definitely cooled off. I don't know what it is, 5 or 6 out right now, but it's cool. Clear sky, though. Looks like a full moon, and I will point out, Chuck, that I just this evening was finally able to see that comet that's been visible the last little while.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, good evening there, Vern, and that's great. I have a little bit of an obstructed view from my house. I would have to go out because they were saying that to look to the southwest and then later on in the evening towards the west. And the west is obstructed over here. But yeah, I read all about that for the next, maybe tonight and tomorrow will be your 3 best nights to watch them. So very good. And what time was that there, Vern?
That was literally 15 or 20 minutes ago. I stepped out of my house, and the neighbor came over and said, "Hey, you want to see the comet?" And he had a pair of binoculars, and he's very much into astronomy. He's got a pretty nice telescope, which he had not broken out for this. But I got a good view with the binoculars, and then also got a picture on my phone. And it was just over the roof line of a townhouse beside us. It was very, very nice to see, cool to see.
Ah, excellent, excellent. Well, I trust you had a good weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. And by the way, you're in S6. S6 at my location tonight, Vern. A little bit of scratchy, but you're fully readable.
Sounds good. Yeah, that bacon is probably the bacon that I had earlier today. We did have a nice Thanksgiving, Chuck. Thanks for asking. We had family over, had a very nice meal that my wife prepared, and been going on leftovers, which I love. Can't complain.
Oh yeah, yeah. The leftovers are just as good, sometimes better, for certain foods. That's for sure. Okay, Vern. Well, thank you so much for checking in. Enjoy your walk. It is a little coolish, a little under 10 degrees at my location here. So, but fear not. Summer is returning. They are calling for plus 20 degrees on the weekend. So, good time to go out on the weekend and do something. Back to you for your final.
Yeah, sounds good, Chuck. I heard that there's going to be a warm up for the weekend. So, Chuck, I'll be out for a little while. I'll be listening along. I may not be around for round two, but I appreciate you picking me up.
All right, very good. Thanks again, Vern. All right, so let's open up the net to any and all call-ins. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now.
Victor Office 3, Alpha X-ray Juliet.
The world is perfect. Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey. Now that we know Rick is okay.
Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
All right, I got 3 in there. AXJ, IMW, and NCA. So let's bring in Rick, the man at the top of the list. Well, sort of. Come on in, Rick.
Good evening. You too, Mac. Everybody else on the net. Yeah, busy day. Did laundry. Cooked stew. Went to the drugstore. Ran about 6 other items. And right now I'm just beat. I gotta do 4 things at once. But the stew turned out, oh man, it's good.
You got to love it when things come together like that. And, I cook myself not by recipes, but I just know how much to add. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then when you taste it there and it tastes just right, you feel good. So congratulations.
Yeah, I don't follow no recipes either. Whatever I get in my hand goes in the pot. That's why I call it mystery stew. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Certain people, you say mystery stew, and you never know if it's roadkill or not in the in the Rick. Anyways, thanks for checking in, my friend. Always a pleasure to have you aboard. And if there's anything else, just break in.
Yeah, no roadkill. Not this week, anyhow. Maybe next week. Anyhow, okay, Chuck. I'll be listening. I'll be here for the duration, probably. Feel good, energetic, pain-free, and I love it.
Beautiful. That's great, Rick. Glad to hear it. My back is starting to feel a little bit better myself there, so pretty happy about that. All right, Rick, thanks for checking in, and let's move down to Mac. Victor Alpha 3, Indy Mike Whiskey.
Good evening, Chuck, and all on that. Yeah, it was good to hear Rick full of vim and vigor. I'm not sure what vim really is. It's a cleaning fluid that used to be used. Well, some people, I guess, still use it, but I don't think I'd want to be full of it. Anyways, I digress. Good to hear that Rick is functioning. That's perfect. And Chuck, as you stated, you're starting to feel the benefits of your back procedure. That's also good news. Was talking to Dave a little while before, so his leg thing is starting to heal nicely. So also a thumbs up there. I guess the only one that's in self-destruct mode is Tom, because every time he moves out of his chair, he hurts something. So he has another arm that he twisted, and goodness gracious, what's he going to damage next? Anyways, happy hump day. What else is it? I think there was a special day. I look it up every day. Yes, Global Food Day. Global Food Day, supposed to be celebrated by sharing food with those in need, or just celebrating with a home recipe. But yeah, happy Global Food Day, for whatever that's worth. Anyways, I'm here for the duration, Chuck, and if there's anything in the distance, I'll be sure to let you know. Just a quick reminder, N1CC event on Saturday. We'll be on the north side of the city, various parks, and probably going to start around noon, so everybody can keep an ear to the ZOE repeater. We'll use that as a talk-in and let everybody know where we're at and when we're going to get started. I'll turn it back to you, Chuck. Thanks for doing this one.
All right, Mac, thank you for all that information and for checking in and for listening for me. As this is a Simplex Net, we do encourage the use of relays, and that's what it's all about for long distance communications on Simplex. All right, so with that, let's move down to, I believe it's Wade, VA3NCA. Come on in, Wade.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, everybody on net. Yeah, looking forward to the weekend and the N1CC that Mac mentioned there. That should be a lot of fun, and it looks like the weather might just cooperate, so that'll be great. It was a work day for me today, and I don't know, I decided I'd walk in, which was a change. I don't often do it, but it was such a nice fall day for a walk. I decided to do that. Usually I would take the bike in, but it's nice every now and again to do a walk. Plus, I'd rather be walking in than be in. So, anyways, that's just that. But now I'm back at home, and I had to make sure I got down here and give you a check-in. I didn't hear about the comet, but that sounds very interesting. I just looked it up online. I'm going to have to take a look out myself for that. That sounds like it could be quite a good sight to see. Other than that, let's see. There was something I was going to mention, and I don't remember what it is now. It's completely gone from my mind. It must be that time of the day. But maybe I'll remember it for next round. I know there's one thing, though, Chuck. It's not your garbage night. It's mine tonight because of the holiday. So just remember that. But I'll send it back to you via NCA.
Yes, indeed, Wade. For those of us here in the East End, normally we put our garbage out tonight, but that is not the case for this week due to Monday being a holiday. Thank you for that, Wade. And also, thanks for checking in on YouTube as well. And I've got a whole list of people here. We've got Debbie, VA3OYL, Wayne B, VA3FMB, and of course you. And we've got Noel in there, Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango. Cooking, apparently. So, and Debbie says the moon is full and nice and bright tonight. So, yeah, I tried last night. I didn't even think about this evening. I was getting ready for the net. So, we'll have to watch those things online, I guess. And I think, do you remember what else you wanted to say there, Wade?
No, you know what? It's completely gone from my mind. I ought to start writing this stuff down, I guess. Oh well, must not have been important, and if it is, it'll come up again for the next round. So I'll let you grab a few more, get a few more on the log, and maybe it'll shake something loose. But anyways, for now, I'll send it back to you, and I'll be listening along. VA3NCA back in control.
Okay, very good, Wade. Just remember, at any time, if you need to check back in or break in, by all means do so. You don't have to wait till the next round. We're pretty casual here, and we let comments break in anytime. Thanks, Wade. And so that's it for my list of RF check-ins. Well, let's see who else is out there tonight. Would like to stop by and say hello here on the weekly AREG net. This is VA3 CJZ.
V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf.
Okay, I heard two stations there, and BK and WPG. By the way, Wade, you had a nice solid S10 over 9. So very good job tonight. Nice clean audio, no interference as such, really. And so with that, let's bring in Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck and everybody else on frequency. Got to thank you again for doing the Monday Night Net. I took it off for Thanksgiving and my company. So anyway, my company will be going home. So this weekend, Hey, I'll be listening to ZOE and see if I can give those boys a few contacts there in the park. And that'll be good. Anyway, thanks to Wade and Mac and everybody else that checked in on Monday night. Sorry I wasn't there. Anyway, back to you, Chuck.
Yeah, very good, Rick. Welcome and good evening. And by the way, Mac was also my wingman on Monday night, and so yeah, we did what we could there and brought a few in. I was wondering where you sent me another email about another net on at the same time. Doesn't the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club have the slot of 8 p.m. on 7.100? Who else was running a net? Do you know?
Yeah, that link I sent you, the Aurora net. But it's in Saskatchewan, so, like, really, I don't know. I did hear Alberta one night, and it was after 9 o'clock, and they were on there running a net after 9 o'clock, so they couldn't hear me. They were only weak signal here, and I had to use CW for them to hear me. And but the guy out there, VE6, Charlie Quebec, he picked up my CW just wonderful, and he gave me a 3 and 5. I don't know what that means on CW, but he was on phone. I was on CW. But anyway, this Aurora net, never heard of him. Never heard him. And the guy that's supposed to be running the net is he's in Saskatchewan. So I don't know. Maybe those are the guys that we hear really weak. I don't think we're really interfering at all. And it was VE3 that made the complaint. So maybe he likes to try and check into that net when the band conditions are really good. That could be it. Maybe we were interfering for him checking into the Alberta net, at 8 o'clock. I don't know. I'm going to have to listen. We may have to move there a little bit. But they have an alternate frequency, and their alternate frequency is 7.120. So, like if we're interfering, we go there, or they go there. Or somebody suggested once 7.15. So I don't know. But we're flexible. We'll see. We don't want to cause the interference, but at the same time, how long have they been there? Just because they got a website doesn't mean much. Who knows? I've been there for all this summer, so we haven't had it. But we haven't had any interference. But the band conditions have been up and down. So who knows? I don't know. I guess we're all hams. We got to be flexible and move a little bit if we have to. It's always 7,100 plus or minus on a Monday night. So anyway, we might have to do that, Chuck. Back to you.
Yeah. Like you said there, this net is advertised on the Hamilton ARC webpage as being the Monday night net for the club, and it's been going on for several months. I mean, I don't want to argue about it. I mean, sure, we'll move, but I mean, it just seems odd. Anyways, I didn't hear anything. Let's bring in Mac. Mac, could you hear anyone else in the background on Monday?
Not that I can recall. I'll have to scratch my cerebrium and see what shakes out. Oh, by the way, Chuck, I think Chris doubled with Rick, so he's also waiting on the wings from Ancaster. Anyways, no, I don't recall hearing anything that I can lay claim to coming out of the West. So it is what it is, right? Obviously, amateurs are usually cordial enough that they can discuss any conflict of frequencies, and we make the appropriate arrangements. So if anybody breaks in and lets us know we're interfering, who knows? Then, like Rick says, we can move up and down a little bit, and we can be flexible. I'm just trying to picture Rick being flexible. Hi.
Now there's an image I won't get out of my head. All right, very good, Mac. Thank you for that input. And Chris, we'll get to you shortly there. I'll mark you down, VE3RWJ. And let's see if Rick has a final.
Oh yeah, I'd just like to thank Mac for doing what he did for you, because he does that for me sometimes too. When there's some people I don't hear that well when and Mac's on the mountain, and either him or Larry do a great job there. They hear people sometimes better than I can because they're up higher there. So that's good. And they said they were hearing us. So yeah, your station works good. They're hearing you in Alberta or Saskatchewan, then your station must be doing pretty good there on 40 meters that night.
Yeah, I was shocked. You've never gotten a complaint when you're running a little extra juice there, and I was only running maybe 90%, and that was funny. Well, I'll pat myself on the back, saying my station is getting out good. So, all right, Rick, we'll talk to you in a bit. Don't be shy. Break in if you've got any other comments. So let's bring in Chris, VE3RWJ.
Good evening, Chuck. Thanks for doing the net and doing the live stream. And I'm listening to myself on my earbuds with quite a delay. Let's see if I can keep talking without getting thrown off. I don't have anything to report. Had a good Burlington net just before this one. And just nothing new here. I did hear Japan on 10 meters just before I started the Burlington net. So that was kind of neat. Gray line propagation, I guess. Didn't manage to make contact, but he had quite a group trying to get him. Anyway, this is my new backed off setting for local. And then when I go contesting, I'm going to do this, which is a little louder. Anyway, we'll just back off again. Back to you, and thanks for doing the net, V3RWJ.
All right, Chris, very good. Yeah, I tried to listen for Japan, but they were in with my noise floor, so couldn't really pull them in. But I'll tell you, 10 meters was hopping today, as well as it has been for the last several days. I got a whole whack of South America today. The south of Brazil. I even got that D Expedition, the tiny island off the coast of Brazil, Fernando de Noronha, or something like that, and Chile, Argentina, Mexico even. So the south was working really well. I've only got like maybe one or two Europeans today, so conditions were pretty good, as they have been recently. Take advantage of the 10 meters, I say, because it's not always there. So grab them while you can, is what I say. And so, Chris, I hope you can hear yourself well on the live stream there. I'm sorry if I have a little bit of a delay. I do have 5 cameras running today, as well as the microphone there. So hopefully it's not too bad.
Oh, that's fancy. So what do all the cameras show? I mean, I guess one's probably on you, one's probably on the S meter on the rig. What are the other ones showing?
Well, actually, I have 2 on me. They're just different angles. One facing the radio, another one facing the rest of my table, and one that's backed off a little bit higher up, showing the overall radio table. And so I thought I'd play around with the cameras I had available, because I normally only run 3. And so tonight I thought I'd try showing a few different angles on the stream, instead of always the same angles that I normally use.
Oh, neat. Well, I'm on Zoom for work a lot, and people keep telling me I should buy a ring light. Ring light sounds like a proctology tool to me, but anyway, they're not too expensive, so I'm going to pick up one of those on Amazon tomorrow. Thanks for doing the net. We're going to just listen along the 3RWJ.
All right, Chris. Yeah, speaking of buying stuff online, there, I wasn't very impressed with the Amazon Prime deals that they had. I thought the deals you were getting weren't that big, and you'll often see those deals throughout the week, depending on the time of day. They come on, they come off, but they were relatively the same kind of deals you would normally come across. But yeah, regardless, I still managed to get one of these cameras. That's why I'm using more. I actually got a new uh, webcam, and I only paid $8 and change for it. It usually runs $40, and so they gave me a $20 gift card, and that's where it went to. So, anyways, Chris, thanks again for checking in. I do appreciate it, sir. And do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it. 73.
Okay, 7-3, Chris. And so let's bring in the other Chris now. VA3 WPG. Chris, come on in.
Good evening, VA3 WPG. Got my endorsement for 225 Park to Parks on the POTA page now. Made it out again today. The first one at Dundurn was 30. Yesterday I got 35 on paper, and by the time I got hammers to translate that, it was 43 QSOs. Today on paper I got 39, so whatever hammers is going to translate that to, I'll find that out later, but it keeps getting better every day. Nice weather's coming tomorrow, and yeah, another good POTA day today. A couple of special event stations and lots of twofers.
Oh, very good, Chris. Yeah, things were hopping the last few days anyway, so the numbers are adding up. You're getting more and more awards. Congratulations. And there's yeah, it adds up because you have, some people have more than one park, and so then you get your multipliers, and yeah, things starting to look good on your page. So very good then. Did you say you went out today?
I did. Oh, and I wandered out of my comfort zone at off my comfort zone at 20 meters. Made the first on 40, and what else? There was one other thing for today. Oh yeah, I found the on hammers. I got the app for 649 or whatever, and I found the spotting thing like the POTA page where you can just copy all your stuff right into the top. So you just got to fill in the signal report and the park number. So that sped up things quite a bit.
Oh, very good then. Yeah. So just remember, if you're going to go out when it's close to sunset, bring a flashlight because it gets dark fast. So I think it's somewhere around 6:30 in the evening now. The sun sets. So yep, nights are getting longer. But at least it's going to warm up for the weekend, so you'll have plenty of nice weather to go out and do parks. So thanks again for checking in, Chris. Anything else for us?
Made the last one at 21:51 tonight. Didn't need the flashlight tonight, so we were good in that department. But
Yeah, that's day 3 at Dundurn and Burlington Heights National Historic. Other than that, nothing that I can think of. So let's turn it back to you and keep it going. VAA3 WPG 73, and have a good one.
Okay, Chris. Thanks again. And so that clears my list. Let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ.
I have a comment, Chuck.
Yes, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, okay. You and Chris were talking about DX, and you were talking about Japan on 10 meters. And I just thought I'd mention that next weekend is the CQ Worldwide DX contest on Sideman. And that is a really big one. Hams from all over the world go to strange islands and everything else, use strange prefixes. And if anybody's into DX, that is the one to be on, whether you're actually in the contest or not. Just giving them contacts, you can work some pretty strange stuff, and it'll have you looking up prefixes to see where they are. So that's a good contest I'd like to mention. It starts, it's October the 26th at 0 Zulu and goes to 2400 on October the 27th. And of course, that means it starts on a Friday night at 8 p.m. So just thought I'd mention that when Chris was mentioning DX. I thought of that right away. Anyway, back to you there, Chuck. V3CJ or VA3CJZ, V3BK, and good job, Chuck.
All right, Rick. I didn't realize it was next week, but thanks. Yeah, that's a good one. It's on for 2 full days, and I like participating in that one. So since we're on announcements for contests, let's do our weekly contest list, and we'll start off with the ARRL Earth Moon Earth, or as we like to say, the Earth Moon Bounce contest, and that's on for 2 full days, and it's worldwide, and it's for CW, phone, and digital, and the bands are 50 megahertz up to 1.296 megahertz. So 6 meters to 1.2 gigs. So that should be interesting for people wanting to work the bounce. So after this, we've got an RTTY contest called the JARTS WWRTTY. And that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And for you FT8ers, you fire truck fax machiners, we have the YBDXPI FT8 contest. And that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Sticking with digital, we've got the 1010 International Fall Contest for CW. I know a lot of you are taking classes online and whatnot and practicing with your CW, so it'll be a good time. This will be for 10 meters only, and it's on CW, and that runs at 0001 Zulu. Funny time. October 19th until 23:59 Zulu, October 20th. And then we've got the YLRL DX anniversary contest, and that's for CW, digital, sideband, and it says you need separate logs for each mode. It's for all the bands except Warp bands. Next, we've got the New York QSO party, and that's for CW, single sideband, and digital. And that's for all the bands except the work bands. And before I forget, Mac mentioned earlier that I do believe it's Support Your Parks weekend. All you need is one POTA contact, and you will receive an award for participation. Is that right there, Mac? The A3IMW.
Yeah, it seems only fitting that we're doing our N1CC event this weekend. We're going to help everybody on both sides of the coin. So one contact during the Support Your Parks weekend gives you a Hunter Award, and one park activated obviously gives you the Activator Award. And you kind of like to get those things together. Anyways, yes, Support Your Parks weekend is this weekend.
All right, then. Very good. Very good. Thank you for that, Mac. And so our next contest will be the Worked All Germany contest. And of course, the geographic focus is Germany, but it's worldwide participation. And that will be for CW and sideband for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. Worked All Germany. Another CW contest is the Classic Exchange. That will be split into 2 time periods, and it goes beyond the weekend. It'll start late Sunday and then stop on Monday, and then it'll pick up again on Tuesday. So, yeah. And then finally, we've got the ARRL School Club Roundup for CW, phone, RTTY, and digital. All the bands except 60, 30, 17, and 12 work bands. And so that's pretty much it for the contests this weekend. And if you would like more information, just open up your web browser and type in contestcalendar.com. And I usually put up the 8-day list of contests, and you can click on any contest, and you'll find the link to the rules, log submissions, and so on. And so with that, is there anyone else out there that has any announcements that they'd like to make? Please come now. VA3CJZ. All right, nothing heard. Let me check on our YouTube stream here and see if we've got anything new. No, it's pretty quiet there. All right, well, I did just put up a picture on the YouTube stream showing how solar flares disrupt technology on Earth. And there's an illustration there, and it explains what happens during solar flares aimed at Earth. So I thought I'd cut away from the cameras for a short period and show you the visual on that. And so with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. All right, so why don't we have a little bit of audience participation and do some trivia. Everybody likes the trivia. And so let's see, which one am I going to? Let's start with this one. All right, trivia 002. Let's start with what animal is known to have the most powerful bite in the world? And there are 4 to choose from. Is it the Nile crocodile, the hippopotamus, the hyena, or the grizzly bear? What animal has the most powerful bite in the world? Anyone? All right, the answer is the Nile crocodile. Who got that right there? Wade, yeah, you got that right. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get bit by any of them myself either. So the Nile crocodile's bite is 30 times stronger than a human, and therefore has the highest crush rate. Here's an interesting one for those of you who like to read books. Who is the most translated author of all time? Is it William Shakespeare, Hans Christian Andersen, Enid Blyton, or Agatha Christie? Who is the most translated author of all time? And no, it's not Jesus. Believe it or not, the answer is Agatha Christie. The Queen of Crime has 7,233 translations to her name. Huh, interesting. What is the name of the largest technology company in South Korea? Is it Apple, Samsung, LG, or Huawei? Apple, Samsung, LG, or Huawei? All right, a couple of you got it right there, Jeff and Wade. It is Samsung. Samsung in 2022, Samsung Electronics took in 245.7 billion in revenue. So that's a lot. Okay, very good then. What is the top selling product at Walmart? Is it diapers? We went through this question before on another trivia. Diapers, milk, bananas, or sliced bread? The top selling product. It's bananas. Rumor is Walmart sells 1.5 billion pounds of bananas a year. I like bananas. That's right, Wade. That's bananas. What type of race is Le Mans? Running, biking, driving, or swimming? What type of race is Le Mans?
Chuck.
Go ahead there, Vern.
Said driving, Chuck.
Oh, okay. All right, I got it. That's it. It's C, driving, taking place in Le Mans, France. The 24-hour Du Mans is an endurance racing event. Here's an interesting one. To which sea does the River Thames flow? Is it the Celtic Sea, the North Sea, the Baltic Sea, or the Firth of Clyde? To which sea does the River Thames flow?
I think you mean Thames.
Yeah. Forgive my pronunciation. The River Thames. Thames. Well, the answer is the North Sea. Wade got it right. And The North Sea lies between the Great Britain, Denmark, Norway, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, and France. And we all know what the smallest country in the world is. Oh, yeah, I think last week we had this question too, this next one. I'm not sure. What European country is said to have invented hot dogs? Is it Belgium, Spain, Germany, or France? Who invented the hot dog? Belgium, Spain, Germany, or France?
That's the worst.
Correct answer is Germany. The people of Frankfurt claim to have invented hot dogs in the year 1487. But they didn't have baseball games back then, so it didn't count. 1487, though Vienna, Austria, also claims to have invented it. And they're kind of neighbors, I believe, to Germany.
Yeah, Austria is where that guy came from that took over Germany and then tried a world conquest thing.
All right, let's switch over to another trivia that I have here. And this does not have multiple possible answers. So we'll try and make it a little bit harder. Now, the question is, in flight systems, what does the initials TCAS stand for? TCAS. In flight systems, what does the initials TCAS stand for? Anyone?
Something avoidance systems. It's the automatic system that tells approaching aircraft whether they should climb or descend in order to miss oncoming traffic.
Yeah, that's it. You and Wade both got that. Wade almost got it right. It's not terrain; it's traffic collision avoidance system. So there you go. Someone else said it's the traffic alert and collision. No, not traffic alert because it's TCAS, traffic collision avoidance system. All right, let's go to the next one here. If someone said you are OLID, OLID, what would they mean? If someone said you were OLID, it would mean you smell extremely unpleasant. All right. Question. Nephelococcygia is the practice of doing what? Well, I'm not pronouncing it right, but it's the practice of finding shapes in clouds. People with too much time on their hands. If you planted the seeds of Cursus robur, what would grow?
Roses.
That would be trees. Funny enough. All right, next one. How many notes are there on a standard grand piano? How many notes? Oh, Wade, you're fast.
88 keys.
You're just reading from Wade's answers there, Mac.
No, I was waiting for you to unkey. I'm an RF participant.
Oh, okay. This is an odd one here. I don't get it. But what is the weight of a gold bar in Fallout New Vegas? Is that a game? Well, the answer is 35 pounds is what a gold bar weighs in this Fallout New Vegas. I wish I had one of those bricks, gold bars. Anyone know what the symbol is for copper?
Charlie uniform.
Copy, copy. On what Japanese city was the first atomic bomb dropped? Because there were two.
That should be Hiroshima.
Absolutely. And who led 900 followers in a mass suicide in 1979? I'll give you a hint. They used Kool-Aid. Who led 900 followers in a mass suicide in 79?
And they all got brand new running shoes, too.
Jim Jones in Guyana, I believe it was. What disease can be caused by lack of vitamin C? That's right. The answer is scurvy. That's why a lot of those ships would carry a lot of lemons or limes on board ship if they ran out, if they couldn't get a hold of other forms of vitamin C, they would start sucking on lemons. All right, these ones are way too easy. Let's see if I can find another one here. It's not so easy. All right, what is the name of the traditional Argentinian dance? Is it the tango, the salsa, the bachata, or the rumba? What is the name of the traditional Argentinian dance? Tango, salsa, bachata, or rumba?
Rumba.
And the answer is tango. The Argentine tango is said to combine elements of African rhythm, European music, and South American song. So there you go. The answer is tango.
Look at Charlie Tango.
Look at him go. What is the Indian and Pakistani name for meat cooked in a clay oven over charcoal? Is it tikka, Tikka? Is it B, tandoori, C, talna, or D, tarka? And yeah, a few of you got it right there.
Tandoori.
I didn't know that, so I learned something new.
And the shape of the oven is strangely similar to the Moroccan baking dish. If you look at the chimney that's on the what do they call those things? Now I'm going to draw a blank. They funnel all the heat up to a central area, and then it cascades back down. And yep, I'll think of that shortly. I'll get back to you.
All right. Okay, so for you people who like the cold and snow, in which winter sport are the terms stale fish and mule kick used? Which winter sport term are the terms stale fish and mule kick? Is it ice skating, skiing, luge, or snowboarding?
Snowboarding, VA3BT.
And there's some more audience participation as well as a new check-in with the right answer. Snowboarding. Give me a stale fish with a mule kick to go. Hi, Albert. How are you? Come on in.
Hey, we're doing good. Doing good there. Just I almost forgot about this, man. I'm like, oh, Chuck's on here. So yeah, I thought I'd throw a check-in in there and try to get the right answer.
Perfect timing with the right answer there, Albert. Thanks for checking in. How's things going there? Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, we had a pretty good weekend. We had a rain day on Sunday, but that's it. The rest of the weekend was good. So nice extra long weekend. That's pretty much for the camping season this year. Going to winterize the trailer.
Ah, okay. Yeah. You were mentioning that before about draining the lines there and flushing everything out and making sure nothing freezes up. You never know. We might get a rough winter. They're calling for it, so we'll have to wait and see if they're right. So, all right, Albert. Thanks for checking in, my friend. Anything else?
No, we'll let you continue on there. VA3VT, we'll be listening on.
All right, very good. Anyone else out there that would like to check into our weekly AREG net, please come now. This is VA3CJZ, and my name is Chuck here in East Hamilton. All right, let's go back to our list. And we have a new check-in on YouTube, a couple, John, Kilo 6, Romeo X-Ray Delta. You're also 5 and 9 on YouTube, John. Thanks for checking into our weekly net, and it's usually always streamed live on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. I'll have to add you in the log. Kilo 6 RXD. Thank you. How are things with you, and whereabouts are you? Showing here, Los Angeles. Well, 3 hours there, so it's roughly 6 o'clock, coming up on 6 there. So thanks for joining us there, John. You are officially in the log. That's right there, Wade. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, sometimes we get people from all over the world checking into our net here on YouTube. And K6RXD is stroke 2 as you are visiting in family in New York. Well, thank you very much, John. I hope you are having a good time with your family. And Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango. It does not count as FT8. No FT8 here or on YouTube. All right. So let's see. Anyone else out there wishing to check into our weekly net, please come now. All right, it's coming up on 9 p.m. It's currently 8.5 degrees Celsius outside the CJZ studios. And so we'll continue on with our fun little trivia for a little while longer. Here's a movie one. What is the highest grossing holiday movie of all time?
Holiday movie. Home Alone?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, you would think that's the one, eh, Rick? But Mac is actually right. It's Home Alone. Top movie. Let's see what the actual top highest grossing holiday movie of all time. Huh. Which programming language shares its name with an island in Indonesia? That's right, Wade. It is, in fact, Java. Here's a trick question. What's the nationality of Picasso? Pablo Picasso. What was his nationality? And Wade has it right again. It is, in fact, Spanish. You would think Italian, but no, it's Spanish. Which painter reputedly cut off his own ear? And that's it. That's right. It is, in fact, Van Gogh. Any name with a Van in it is Dutch. So he was a Dutch painter. And I don't know why he cut off his ear, but he's famous for it. So there you go. I got another question regarding Vincent van Gogh. What is the name of the famous painting by Vincent van Gogh that depicts a night sky filled with swirling stars, a small village, and a large cypress tree? What's the name of that painting? Very famous. It is, in fact, called The Starry Night. Way to go, guys. Very good on YouTube. For those of you just joining us listening on the radio, I do stream the net on YouTube. Just type in my call, VA3CJZ, into the search box, and you can look for under the live button. Or our title tonight is AREG Week 1622. Another book question. The History of Middle-earth was written by which author? The History of Middle-earth. That's right, J.R.R. Tolkien. Which science deals with the motion of projectiles? And that answer would be ballistics. Way to go, Wade. You get the gold star tonight. Now, this answer to this next question is different than when I thought it was, but here's the question. What type of reptile can detach their tails when they are in danger and then regrow it?
Iguanas?
Well, the answer is lizards. And I thought the only answer was salamanders, but I guess I'm wrong.
So they can leave a piece of tail everywhere they go.
Yeah, I do know that geckos drop their tail when you grab them.
Oh, yes, yes. And that explains why we've never seen Mike. Victor Echo 3, my gecko uniform.
Yeah, I've seen Mike before. I've met him.
With or without his tail?
That I cannot answer.
VE3LBI.
You're 6 minutes late, Larry.
You're taking up too much time, Mac.
All right, VE3LBI. Larry, come on in. How's things? Have a good weekend?
Yep, quite pleasant. Went to the brother-in-law and sister-in-law's on Sunday for a nice meal, and just wasn't nice. It was a nice weekend. Yes.
Oh, very good, very good. All right then. And so, what's you got any projects or anything on the go? Anything like that? I understand you finished a door, a heavy wooden door. And where did you install that?
Well, the door kind of got me back. Yeah, it was the man door for the garage. The other one was shot, so I replaced it. But in doing so, I hurt my wrist, and then Monday I decided to take my hole saw, which I had to clean up some stuff, the 3.5-inch hole saw, and cut a spot out. Except I have no idea how, but the actual drill bit was warped, bent. So I kicked the drill back, twisted my wrist, and at 2 o'clock this morning, it got gout into it. So it's been a long day.
Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon, Larry. That'll teach you.
Yeah, not a very pleasant thing at all. So anyways, I got some pills here, and I took one today, and I'll take one this evening. They seem to work pretty quick, so hopefully it'll clean it up. But unfortunately, it's my right hand.
It was your right hand?
Yeah. So it's my right hand. Yeah. So in the wrist.
All right. Okay, then. Yeah, well, take them as you need them there, Larry. Thanks for checking in. Larry, you got anything else for us?
Nope, that's it. I was just listening along there. So anyway, yep. No, continue on. Thanks, Chuck. VE3LBI.
All right, very good, Larry. Are there any other check-ins for tonight's AREG Net? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo uniform.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo uniform. Tomasz, come on in, my friend. How are you? How was your weekend?
A3CJZ, A3CU, yeah, good evening, Chuck and everybody else on the net there. Yeah, I'm on holidays this week, so I'm enjoying the peace and quiet and, yeah, and what I can do, whatever I want to do.
All right. Very good then. And we get to take out the garbage one day later this week. So that's always a bonus.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable week. It's been cool the last couple of days, and my son asked me to go out golfing tomorrow afternoon, later on in the afternoon. I've never been out in the golf course, and
shame on me. I should have done a little bit more, but that's going to be something that I'm going to actually experience instead of going to the driving range every once in a while. Now I'm going to do the real thing.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, I've never been to a driving range, and I think all I've ever done is mini putt. So you got a head start if you get to go to a driving range. Me, I'd have to bring a lot of golf balls because I'd be losing them.
Yeah, well, that's what he told me to do. He said, have you got any tees? I said, yeah, I got 15 of them. And he said, how many balls you got? I said, I only got one. Oh, he says, you're going to have to do more than that. So it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to get some more tomorrow before tomorrow afternoon. Other than that, nothing else is going on at this end of Chuck other than relaxing and enjoying. So, yep, extra bean for the pot here. So I'll let you continue on. And I'll be sitting here for the rest of the duration of the net.
Okay, Tom, thank you so much for checking in. And by the way, you're a solid S9. Good signal, good audio tonight from your location to the Center Mall here in East Hamilton. Thanks again, Tomash. Anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on our weekly amateur radio exchange group net, please come now. So I got one last bit of trivia here I want to get to. Where is it? Oh, I got a couple. All right. The question: in St. Louis, Missouri, it's illegal for a firefighter to rescue who? In St. Louis, Missouri, who are firefighters not allowed to rescue? Oh, this is one that got Wade stumped. Well, I'll let you in on a secret. The answer is undressed women, even if they are wearing a nightgown. So that's a law in St. Louis, Missouri.
I was thinking something more along the lines of a cat stuck in a tree. WPG.
Yeah, Chris, I know, eh? So yeah, they got some weird. That maybe I'll do that one of these weeks. I'll do dumb laws, and you'd be amazed at how many laws are still on the books that are just crazy. Here's one for countries with that have men that can't control themselves, and there are several of them, but I'm not going to mention that. It's too political. But the question is, what was banned in Indonesia for the reason of stimulating passion? What was banned in Indonesia for stimulating passion? You'll never guess. Well, hello, Brad. Welcome to the net. You're far too north to check in, but all right, Brad, you have a call sign. I'd love to put you in our log. And the Greater Hamilton area is in between Toronto and Niagara Falls, Canada. We're right at the very western tip of Lake Ontario. Kilo Echo 8 Fox Juliet Whiskey. Thank you so much, Brad. I must add you to the log here. And how are things where you are, and where are you? All right. Well, it doesn't say here if I've got the call sign entered correctly, but that's okay. KE8FJW. Yeah, location doesn't come up, but that's okay. Anyhow, welcome to our net. We're here every Wednesday evening. We talk about radio stuff and pretty much anything. And then we're at the second half of the net here, where we do a little bit of trivia and then move on to things that happened on this day in history. And so let's go back to that. I thought I had a really interesting one here for you.
Oh, come on. You got us sitting on the edge of our seats. What was banned in Indonesia to stimulate, nookie, nookie, wookie, wookie?
Triple X movies.
The answer is hula hoops, believe it or not. So Indonesia banned hula hoops.
And how do hula hoops stimulate anything?
The hip motion. The hip motion drives the men crazy, and they do naughty things. So they had to ban it.
And how do you get a hula hoop on a sheep?
No, that's the Middle East. Indonesia is different. All right, listen. Question. Generally, which component of a computer draws the most power?
Video card.
Oh my gosh, Wade got it wrong. VA3NCA, that's wrong. Jeff, you got it right, and so did Chris. VA3WPG. A video card is the answer.
Why people burn their houses down when they try to mine, not powering it enough power.
Yeah. All right. Oh my God. We're going to end it with this one, and then we're going to go on this day. So, question. What animal breathes out its butt? Which animal breathes from its butt? So, yeah.
I know quite a few of them.
Believe it or not, Wade, it's turtles. Turtles breathe from their sphincter. Oh, that's crazy. All right, so I'll put a line there, and we'll end the portion of the net for trivia. I hope you all enjoyed it. I had a great time, and I hope you did too. So now we'll be moving on to On This Day in History. And before we do that, do we have any new check-ins for tonight's AREG net, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, the longest-running net in Hamilton? This is VA3CJZ, and my name is Chuck. You don't have to be a member, just a valid call sign. Please come now. Okay, I'm having trouble picking up that station. Can I get a relay, please?
Rajay. Yep, that's Steve, VA3NFG. And he's doing the handheld mobile thing tonight, obviously on his way home from work. Go ahead, Steve. The floor is yours.
Okay, Chuck, you might get a better copy on me now. I was just on the way home from work there, just getting a check in. Chuck, thanks for doing it. VA3 CJ for NG, portable mobile. Back to you.
All right, very good there, Steve. And yes, sir, I copied all of that. The signal was bouncing quite a bit, but I copied you completely that time on the way home from work. All right, Steve. Well, thanks for taking the time out and checking in with us here. It's currently 9:19 p.m. and maybe you can give us a check-in from the home base, but I do appreciate it. Steve, anything else?
No, that's all I got there for the net, Chuck, as I'm making a left-hand turn, steering with my knee. Very good. Once again, thanks for doing it, and let's carry on. BA3 NFG, portable mobile. Back to net.
All right, very good, Steve. Drive safe, and we'll talk to you in a bit. Anyone else out there wishing to check into our net, please come now. This is VA3 CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango. Noel, come on in. You're sounding good.
Yeah, you can just put me on the books there. I've been chatting the whole time, but I don't really have too much. Just been babysitting my 3D printer, making a 6-inch Lego toy for my kid's birthday.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah, I wonder if they have a 3D printer on the space station. You know, they don't have a part. They might need one, and they could 3D print it there. That's interesting. I wonder. I'll have to look that up. So yeah, very good then. Well, good luck. I hope it turns out the way you like it.
Yeah, so far he's looking pretty good. It's like the Lego minifigure, but he's like 6 inches tall, and it's the Darth Vader. I got most of it printed, but it's almost a whole spool. And also, to answer your question, yes, there is one on the space station. They use it all the time.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, sure would be handy. I'll tell you, especially if you happen to lose a wrench out in space or something. So yeah, okay, good to know. Good to know. Something else I learned today. Well, thanks for your check-in there, Noel. I did have you in my log because I log everyone that does have a call sign on the YouTube live stream. And so you're already in there. So thank you again for checking in and participating.
No problem. I wasn't sure if it had to be RF, but yeah, I guess that's it for me. Thanks for doing the net. I'll send it back to you and go back to typing nasty things on YouTube.
All right, very good, very good. Well, thanks, Noel. All right, so reading the YouTube chats, I am following up with Brad, Kilo Echo 8, Fox Juliet Whiskey, up in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. So very good. I didn't know there was a Michigan one, but we do have one here in Ontario. So very good then. How's the weather up there? I think it's only like, what is it? Just under 50 degrees right now, maybe 40, 47, 48 degrees. Somewhere around there. Maybe 45 or so in Fahrenheit. I know in Celsius, it's 8 degrees Celsius here in Hamilton. I've been through Sault Ste. Marie, both of them actually, I think. Very good then. All right. Well, we have a question from Mr. Kaleidoscope. It says, howdy, could you give me some advice on 10-meter radio? And so what is your question there, Mr. Kaleidoscope? What would you like to know about 10-meter radio? And Brad says it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so just above freezing. Wow. All right. Well, better you than me. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, where you are, you're probably north of my location here in southern Ontario. So we are located much further south than many of the northern U.S. states, actually. So very good then. Well, thanks for checking in. So the question, Mr. Kaleidoscope, how would you fashion up an antenna for a semi-portable setup for 10-meter band. Maybe Wade could chat with you there, and maybe, or someone else, give you some tips on what they would do for portable. I'm really not into portable, and plus I want to keep going with the net here, and finish up with that. So if no one comes back to you, I'll do my best.
Ground-mounted vertical, Wolf River coil or Pac-12 style.
There you go. I don't know if you heard that, but there's one answer. Ground-mounted vertical or Pac-12 style antenna. Again, vertical, of course, for 10 meter is better. All right, and apparently the 102-inch whip, the CB antenna, it works great for 10 meters. So there you go. But a steel whip, you would need a piece of metal to radiate from. So I don't know. All right, so are there any more check-ins for tonight's AREG Net? Please come now. All right, let's jump into our On This Day, and we're at week 190. 190 weeks I've been doing On This Day, and we always start with today's famous birthdays. And we start with a gentleman called Noah Webster. He was born in 1758 on this day, and he's known as an American lexicographer. Actually, he's named after a dictionary, Webster's Dictionary, born in Hartford, Connecticut. Next, we've got the first Prime Minister of Japan, born on this day in 1841. His name is Ito Hirobumi, and he's also a Japanese samurai. First Prime Minister of Japan, and he served 4 terms. And he was also the Resident General of Korea. Of course, he was born in Japan. Oscar Wilde was born on this day in 1854. He's an Irish playwright and novelist. You might have heard of The Picture of Dorian Gray. I know there's been movies made about it, as well as the novel about the man that never ages as long as he keeps that painting, I think. Born in Dublin, Ireland. He passed away in 1900. He was only 46. And we go from a young man to a really old one. Born in 1897 and passing away in 2008 is Louis de Cazenave, France's oldest living man, oldest survivor from World War I. He was born in Saint-Georges d'Aurillac, France. And as I mentioned, 1897 and 2000 to 2008. So he would be 103 plus 8, 111 years old. Next, born on this day also, Angela Lansbury, born in 1925. She passed away 2 years ago in 2022. And she's also Irish, but Irish-British American. Irish-British American Golden Globe and multiple Tony Award-winning stage and screen actress. You might know her as the lady who played in Murder, She Wrote, and Beauty and the Beast. Born in London, England. Suzanne Summers, Born on this day, 1946. Her real last name is Mahoney. She's an American actress from Three's Company. From 1977 to 81, she was Chrissy. Born in San Bruno, California. Passed away last year, 2023. And finally, born on this day in 1947, Bob Weir, Weir. He's an American guitarist and singer for Grateful Dead. Born in San Francisco, California. So that's it for famous birthdays on this day. Any questions, comments, or check-ins? Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Oscar Foxtrot.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Oscar Foxtrot. Damien, come on in.
Hey Jack, good to hear from you on your net. Just driving home. I've been to a Red Cross meeting. I volunteer for that, so just on my way home and picked you up. So yeah, don't have much for the net tonight. So hope everything's going well with you. Over.
Yes, things are good over here. Damien. Sorry. And very good then. You've got a nice signal coming in to the Center Mall in East Hamilton. And we had a good Thanksgiving with our daughter and her boyfriend. And it was all good. So thank you for asking. I hope yours was as well.
Yeah, thanks. We did the in-law catch-up, or I did that. And yeah, it was good gathering, plenty of turkey, a couple of plates of turkey, so it was good times had by all. Over.
All right, glad to hear it. Well, thanks for taking the time out and checking in with us again, Damien. Always a pleasure to have you with us. You're welcome here anytime. Have a great rest of the week, my friend. We'll talk again soon, I hope. Okay, very good then. Damien is in the log. Do we have anyone else wishing to check in with us here on the weekly amateur radio exchange group? This is VA3 CJZ. All right, so let's go back to our on this day. And we just did birthdays. Now we'll see who died today in history. And we start off with Marie Antoinette. She was born in 1755, but she died on this day in 1793 at the age of 37. She was also the Queen of France, who allegedly uttered the phrase, "Let them eat cake," but apparently that is not true. She was beheaded along with her filthy rich husband, King Louis XVI. Marie Antoinette was the last queen of France prior to the French Revolution and the French First Republic. As I mentioned, Marie Antoinette was the wife of Louis XVI, and he was also off with his head. Now we get into the 1940s Nuremberg trials. On this day, 1946, many criminals were hung by Allied forces during the Nuremberg trials. We have one German general, Alfred Jodl, Jodl. German general during World War II. He was the head of the German High Command, and he signed the unconditional Nazi surrender, and then he was hung after the Nuremberg trials. And one other gentleman, I know there were more, but there was also a gentleman named, well, I don't know he's a gentleman, but Wilhelm Frick, German leading Nazi official and war criminal. He was the Minister of the Interior responsible for the concentration camps. And so he was duly hanged for his crimes against humanity. Next, we jump to the year 2003. Stu Hart passed away on this day in 2003. Stu Hart is a Canadian professional wrestler and trainer. Died at the age of 88. He was also the father of Brett and Owen Hart, as well as 9 other siblings. Believe it or not, he had 11 kids. And so that house must have been a zoo. And Stu Hart is known for being one of the toughest men in wrestling. And he used to make people cry in what they called the dungeon. He had a basement ring, and he basically tortured wrestlers down there. All right, that was in 2003. Let's go to 2005 on this day. Eugene, or Porky, Lee died on this day in 2005. Lee was an American child actor known as Porky on Little Rascals. He was 71. And my last entry here is Ron Tutt, Tutt, died in 2021 on this day. Ron Tutt was an American session and touring drummer with, get this, Elvis Presley, Emmylou Harris, Jerry Garcia, and Neil Diamond. A touring and session drummer. Dies at the age of 83. That's it for people who died on this day. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's net? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Let's go back to, there we are. And so we're done with deaths. Let's go to today's historical events. And we start off with Columbus in Bahamas. In 1492, was that the year apparently he so-called discovered America? Well, in fact, they lied to us, because Christopher Columbus basically discovered the Bahamas, Long Island, Bahamas, as he anchors there in 1492. Now, next we have Drake crossing the Atlantic. In 1579, Sir Francis Drake sights land in the Philippines after crossing the Pacific Ocean aboard the Golden Hind, Hind. All right, next we got the Battle of Quebec. In 1690, the English demand the surrender of Quebec. French Governor Louis de Buade de Frontenac replies, "I have no reply to make to your general other than from the mouths of my cannon and muskets." "20 years later on this day, 1710, British troops occupy Port Royal, Nova Scotia. Boy, the British were busy. And then again, it's 1775 now. Portland, Maine is burned by the British. "1813, we have the Battle of Leipzig, the largest battle in Europe prior to World War I, sees Napoleon's forces defeated by Prussia, Austria, and Russia. 1841 on this day, Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, Canada is chartered. So that's how old Queen's University in Kingston is. 1841. And then Gregory conquers Julius Caesar. Now, we're talking about calendars here. In 1867, on this day, Alaska adopts the Gregorian calendar and crosses the international date line. Before that, they used the Caesarian calendar, and to this day, we still use the Gregorian calendar. Two years later, 1869, a hotel in Boston becomes the first to have indoor plumbing. 1869. It was the Tremont House, was a hotel in Boston that operated between 1829 and 1895. But they got indoor plumbing in 1869. 1875, the first Quebec versus Ontario football game. And guess who won? Ontario. In 1923, the Disney Brothers cartoon studio is founded. I didn't know it was founded by two brothers. Interesting. Also, on this day in 1923, John Harwood patents the self-winding watch in Switzerland. Well, of course, they're master clock and watchmakers from way back. All right, in 1942 on this day, the National Boxing Association freezes titles of those serving in the armed services. That way they wouldn't lose their titles while they were at war. And as I mentioned earlier, in 1946, there were a total of 10 Nazi leaders that were hung as war criminals after the Nuremberg trials. Yeah. Okay, next let's go to Cuba. 1953, Fidel Castro is sentenced to 15 years in Havana. Although the maximum penalty for leading an uprising was 20 years, Castro was sentenced to 15, being imprisoned in the hospital wing of the Model MODEL prison, a relatively comfortable and modern institution on the Isla de Pinos, 60 miles off of Cuba's southwest coast. That's back in 1953. And then in 1962, we have the Cuban Missile Crisis. Begins as United States President John F. Kennedy is shown photos confirming the presence of Soviet missiles in Cuba. That's in 1962. Speaking of nuclear, in 1964, on this day, China becomes the world's 5th nuclear power. In 1964, New York Yankees fire manager Yogi Berra 1 day after losing the World Series. Yogi Berra was a Hall of Fame catcher, had many titles. Thank you there, thank you there, Techno City. Yeah, I've seen some videos on fixing the tiger stripes, or as you call them, zebra stripes. Thank you. All right, 1967. At the 13th General Conference on Weights and Measures in Paris ends after redefining the second using a cesium beam atomic clock. All right, for you Toronto Maple Leaf fans out there, in 1968, James Dory sets a Toronto Maple Leaf penalty records of 48 minutes on 9 penalties in a game and 44 minutes on 7 penalties in a period. Now, that's weird because a period is only, 15, 20 minutes? All right, now we're getting into some comedy. In 1970, Pierre Trudeau invokes the War Measures Act as a response to the October crisis, the only peacetime use of the War Measures Act in Canadian history. And that is not true because they used it again during the convoy just a couple of years ago. But anyways, this was actually done for good reason. It was called the October Crisis. This is in 1970. I was a very young boy seeing military jeeps and trucks roaming through the city of Ottawa. And the October Crisis was a chain of political events in Canada that started in October 1970 when members of the Front de Libération du Québec, or as I like to call them, the FLQ, they kidnapped the provincial Labour Minister Pierre Laporte and British diplomat James Cross from his Montreal residence. I do believe they cut off his finger or his ear or something and mailed it back, showing they meant business. In 1972, the rock band Creedence Clearwater Revival breaks up. In 1976, Toronto Maple Leaf Lanny McDonald scores a hat trick in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. The good old days. 1976. All right. Okay. In 1985, Intel introduces the 32-bit 80386 microcomputer chip. 1985, folks. A year later, 1986, Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards organizes a concert celebrating rock and roll legend Chuck Berry's 60th birthday at the Fox Theater in St. Louis, Missouri. Performers include Keith Richards, of course, Chuck Berry, Johnny Johnson, Eric Clapton, Etta James, Linda Ronstadt, Robert Cray, and Julian Lennon, among others. Quite the concert. And then in 1992, on this day, Gilligan's Island TV pilot, filmed in 1963, is first shown on TV on the TBS network. I think they were out of Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. So they showed the original TV pilot from 63 in the year 1992. I don't know if I saw that one. And here's where the saying comes, you're never too old. In 2016, Ed Whitlock is 85 years old, becomes the oldest person to complete a marathon under 4 hours at Toronto Waterfront Marathon in 3 hours and 56 minutes. Wow, 85 years old. And in 2017, on this day, findings are published of a neutron star collision that occurred 2 months prior on August 17, the first cosmic event observed in both gravitational waves and light, confirming that heavy elements such as gold result from such collisions. So that's how gold is made, folks. And finally, on this day last year in 2023, a model of a Star Wars X-Wing starfighter used in a Star Wars film sells for over $3 million from collection of Hollywood model maker Greg Jein, Jein. So that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and repeating it back to you. Now, before I do last round, do we have any questions, comments, or last-minute check-ins for this week's net? Please come now.
Chuck, if a turtle breathes through its back end, what comes out of the front end?
They only take food in through their mouth. So hang on there, Rick. I do believe you doubled with someone. Who's that doubling station? Come again.
Hey, Chuck, it's Cal, VA3 CDV. Thought I'd give you a last-minute check-in.
All right. I think it's VA3 CDV, right? Let's see. Yep, that's right. VA3 CDV. Come on in, Cal. How are you? How was your weekend?
I'm okay, Chuck. Weekend's fine. Enjoyed the weather and just thought I'd get on the radio, see what's happening.
All right, very good. Yeah, we're just nearing the end of our on this day, and had lots of fun with the trivia a little earlier. So yeah, had Thanksgiving on Sunday. Thanksgiving dinner, I should say, on Sunday. Had our daughter and her boyfriend over, and it was fun times.
That's good to hear, Chuck. Glad you had a great Thanksgiving celebration. Anyway, back to you. Thanks for doing the net, Chuck. And sorry I'm checking in late. I haven't been on the radio lately. I've been busy with a bunch of other stuff, but hoping to get back on regularly from now on. Back to you.
All right, Cal. You're welcome here anytime. It's doesn't have to be a priority to check into the net, but I do appreciate it. And you could always look us up on the YouTube stream. Just put my call in the search box there, and you can find all of my streams there. And yeah, if you can't make it through the radio, you can always say hello in the YouTube chat. So thanks again for joining us there, Cal. Is there anyone else out there wishing to check into our AREG Net, Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. All right, nothing heard. Let's go to the top. Well, we had NFL as number one, but VA3 NFL Al is probably sawing logs right now. And we had Vern. I don't know if he's still around. VA3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Vern, are you still around? All right, let's kick it over to Rick, VA3 AXJ. Rick, come on in.
Yeah, interesting net. Enjoyed it for once. I got the whole net. Yeah, just this last 3 or 4 weeks has been hit and miss. maybe even longer than that. Yeah, I got a bunch of running to do tomorrow again, and I got to add to my stew. Yeah. I got a bowl of it, but I got lots of juice left, so I'm just gonna, you know, put more stuff in it, build it up, have another bowl. Anyhow, good and that. Thanks for doing it. VA3 AXJ will be monitoring for a bit.
Okay, Rick, thanks for checking in and being part of our group as often as you can. Much appreciated. Let's bring in our next check-in was Mac, VA3IMW. Mac, come on in.
Great net as usual, Chuck, as expected. Looking forward to everybody checking in with us tomorrow night on not the ZOE, but the Simplex Net for the Lake Ontario Radio Club, 446-125 FM Simplex. We'll see you there at 7-3s, and I'll be going QRT because it's 4 minutes to pumpkin time.
Yeah, we have the same precise time there, Mac. Very good. Well, thanks, my friend. I do appreciate your participation and your check-in and all that you bring to the amateur radio community. It's very much appreciated, believe me. And so we'll definitely catch you tomorrow at 7 p.m. on 446.125. Have a good night, Mac. Next, we've got Wade, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha. Are you by the radio, Wade?
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Sure, I'm Chuck. Yeah, listening along. Great net as always. Enjoy it quite a bit. I do remember what it was I was struggling to remember way back at the start of the net. Now, Mac has already reminded us, so that was good. We back each other up that way, but this is Support Your Parks weekend coming up. It's also our N1CC activity, so good combo there. So if anybody wants to get out and make a contact as a hunter and or as an activator, you're going to get a Support Your Park, fall Support Your Park weekend little award. So that'll be fun. But as I said, Mac already said it. So good. The information's out there. Have a great night and upcoming week. And 73 to you and all on net. VA3 NCA back to net control.
All right, Wade. Thank you a bunch again for checking in and being part of the net. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I look forward to the weekend as well. And so we'll clear with you. And I'd like to say thanks to VA3OYL, Oscar Yankee Lima. Debbie, thank you for checking in with us on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the net for as long as you were able to listen. As well as Wayne B., VA3 Fox Mike Bravo in Mississauga. Thank you, Wade. And then we had Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango. Noel, are you still around the radio?
Yeah, I'm still here. Thank you again for doing it. It's quite entertaining. I don't think I have anything else to add, but yeah, thanks. Back to you.
All right, very good, Noel. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Jeff, VE3 November Victor Yankee, who checked in on YouTube. Thank you, Jeff. And next we have Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Last round there, Rick.
Yeah, okay, Chuck. 73 to everybody on frequency, and looking forward to doing some parks on the air on Saturday. And so, and don't forget that everybody at the end of the month there, the CQLY DX sideband. That is a good one to get on. Just turn your radio on and see who you can hear, if nothing else. And that's about it, Chuck. Good job. Good job on the net, and thanks for being there. VA3CJZ, V3VK.
All right, Rick. Thank you as always for checking in with us, and always a pleasure. Next, excuse me. Next, we've got Chris, VA3WPG. Chris, last round.
Good evening. Now, VA3 WPG. Just noticed I got a new state today, Nebraska. That'll be green on my list soon. Other than that, I did not know there was a Sault Ste. Marie in the United States as well, so that makes a Niagara Falls and the Sault Ste. Marie. Don't have time to look into it right now, but that just makes me wonder how many other names between Canada and United States are shared cities, but something to look into later. Anyway, 73, have a good night, everyone. VA3WPG.
Ontario, California.
I actually lived in Ontario, California one winter.
That is a shared name, but I'm thinking on the border states. Sault Ste. Marie, USA, that's on a border next door to Canada?
I'm not exactly sure on the location, but yeah, it's just over the border, the next state over.
Wonder if there's any other shared border names, but oh yeah, Ontario, California, that's a match too. Okay, anyway, VA3WPG.
Yeah, maybe that's something I can do for a net down the road, but that's yeah, very interesting. Thanks for that, Chris, and thanks for checking in. Have a great rest of the week, sir. Next, we've got the other Chris. I don't know if he's still there. VE3RWJ. VA3 Bravo Tango. Albert, you still awake?
Yeah, we're still in there listening along there, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for being there. It was a good night. VA3BT 73, y'all.
Okay, Albert. Have a great rest of the week. It's a short week for you, right?
It is so. 3 days last week, 3 days this week. I'm not complaining.
Oh, you're getting spoiled. And then the hard, cold months are up ahead. So very good then. All right, Albert. Thanks again, buddy. Next, John. Thank you, John. K6RXD. Kilowatt 6 Romeo X-ray Delta in or actually visiting family in New York. So stroke 2 after his call. And then we've got Tomash in Burlington, Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo uniform. All right. Next is Kilo Echo 8, Fox Juliet Whiskey. Thank you for checking in on YouTube. Much appreciated. Tell your friends we're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Next, we got Steve at Portable Mobile, VA3NFG. You still there?
Yep. We're listening in there, Chuck. Just having the nightly bowl of cereal here, and we'll be packing it in for the night. So great job, and thanks for doing it. VA3NFG.
Okay, Steve, got you at an S8 on your portable, eating your nightly cereal before bed. Have a good one. Just keep it away from the radio, microphone hole. And next we had Damien in his mobile. I don't know if he's still there, but VA3COF, last call. And then we had Chris checking in on YouTube as well. November 3, Whiskey Echo Romeo. Thank you for checking in from Lemoyne. What state is that? PA, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much, Chris. As for everyone else on YouTube that checked in, thank you very much. Steel City Coach was in there, and I might have missed someone else. Last person is Cal. I don't know if he's still there, but VA3CDV. All right, before I wrap it up, do we have any last-minute check-ins for this week's AREG Net? That's the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. My name is Chuck, and my call is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu. Anyone, anywhere, please come now. All right, well, that's it then for tonight. We had a total of 20 check-ins. Well, 21 because there's no call for a couple of guys there. Coach was one of them. And so 21 check-ins tonight, not too shabby at all. Thank you all so much for being part of this hobby. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. It's a great way to spend 2 hours on a Wednesday evening on Hump Day. So until next week, we'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, 7-3, and all. And remember, be kind to one another. 7-3, this is VA3 CJZ.